Hey, how you doing there? So I found this property online. It's on the market, and the pictures looked really good. And for the price that it is, it's priced at $929. So I figured I'm gonna come and take a look at it. When I got here, I discovered that it looks way better online than it does in person, which is pretty common, unfortunately, for houses that are for sale. So now this neighborhood, one thing that's very interesting, I gotta let you know, the first thing that anybody that's looking at this house should know is that there's a freeway right behind the backyard. It's the 57 freeway, in fact. So I'm in Orange. I'm actually in between Chapman and Orangewood. And on the other side of the 57 freeway is Anaheim Stadium. In fact, you can actually see the halo from Anaheim Stadium from the sidewalk here, which I'll show you right now. So you'll see here, if I just zoom in, there it is. There's the halo. So in regards to this property, let me stand this way so you can see me better. So in regards to this property, the neighborhood in general is not as good as other ones. And the reason why I say that is because there are a lot of cars parked on the street, and some of the houses have overgrown grass in the front yards, probably the backyards as well. Backyards probably look way worse. And then you actually have some people that have actually parked their cars on the front lawns. It appears as if some of these houses have multiple families living in them. So it should give you a rough idea of what kind of neighborhood this is. So I'll show you the house. Now, originally, this house, I believe, was a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, but it's currently a 4-bedroom, 2-bath. I don't know if the extra bedroom and bath are permitted, but I'll show you why I think it's been added on to. And I don't know if it's permitted or not, like I said. So it says it's a 2-car garage when you look at it online, but it's actually a 1-car garage. So let's take a look. Let me show you the property. Now, the curb appeal is pretty decent. It's actually better than most of the houses in this neighborhood, but it looks pretty decent. From the front, you've got the nice grass. It's been taken care of. And then you have a long driveway here with a carport, and it appears as if you can park maybe 2 or 3 cars outside of the garage, and then that's a 1-car garage. Like I said, they said it's a 2-car garage, but it's not. And when we get into the backyard, I'll actually show you the other side. But you have a water filter here. Now this is interesting. You don't see this often, but you have a gas meter right here in the driveway, and they had to put a small pole or post to protect it. So that's pretty interesting. Usually when you see like a American flag in front of a house, usually it's a good sign. Like the neighborhood is usually pretty solid. I don't think that is the case with this one though, this house. Okay, so as we go inside, you're gonna see there's not a lot of natural light. I'm gonna get over here in the corner just so you can see. Pretty small living room right here. Very low ceilings. I'm 5'10", and I can almost touch I just touched it. I can almost touch the ceiling without jumping. I jumped like maybe 2 inches. Okay, so you have a window, not a lot, but you have some natural light here. This is you have laminate wood color or wood looking flooring here. This is the kitchen, and pretty basic kitchen. I mean, it needs to be updated. It's just kind of like old fashioned. This door actually opens to the driveway, and you have access to the carport here. All right, so, okay. So that's the part they added on, and I'll show you why I think they added it on. But before I show you the addition, I want to show you what the house looked like originally. So originally, I believe it was a 3-bedroom, 1-bath. Here's the original bath, and you can see that they've done some updates to it. Here's 1 bedroom. Here's the second one, and you can see there's a pool back here, so you can swim in the pool and watch a sports game on the TV back there. I'll actually show you when we go over there. And then this is the 3rd bedroom. Now the 3rd bed, wow, this, I didn't even notice this, but take a look. You can actually crawl through here and get to one of the bedrooms by crawling through this little hole. Okay, so you have a skylight here. All right, so then this right here is where I believe they added on. So I'll show you as if we're walking through the living room. Okay, so this right here, I think initially the house stopped right here. Like there was a wall here. And then they added on, I believe they added this window here because it's very small. Usually windows are like that. When builders make houses, they usually make them that size, not like that. And so I think this was added on. And then this right here, you have a step down. Usually when there's a step down like this, they've added on to the house. And if you could see right there, look at that. So I'm gonna zoom in. I don't know if you could tell, but it's not straight. That part right there is actually protruding, so you can see it's not straight. So yeah, they definitely added on to this. Okay, so they add this fireplace, these really small windows. In fact, it slopes down, look. So you can touch the ceiling here. Okay, all right, so then back here, so they added this room. They added, I guess you want to call that like another living room, but they added this bedroom, and you can see here, the step up right here. They added this bathroom, very, very basic. Very basic. There's a skylight here. I think they actually added that skylight to the other room as well. And then you have a way to get to the backyard here from this room. So let's take a look at the backyard. So you have a pool. Now, you take a look here. This wall right here is about 20 feet high. And the reason why I say that is because the basketball court, even though that rim is not 10 feet high, but usually rims are 10 feet high. So I'm just estimating it's about 20 feet high. On the other side of that is the 57 freeway, and you can hear the cars zooming by. I don't know if I mentioned this already. I think I did, but the agent that is representing the seller for this property told me that you have less car noise from the freeway 2 or 3 streets, here at the house than you do 2 or 3 streets down, because she said that the sound waves come, hit the wall, and then bounce over and then go over and bypass the house. But I went over and I took a look at those properties, or drove through those streets, and I thought the noise was not as loud over there as it is here. So I don't think that's really true, what I was told. So nevertheless, now you have that's the garage right there. They put a TV screen, or not a screen, but a TV there, so you can watch or be entertained as you're swimming and enjoying the sun here and maybe playing basketball. There's an above ground spa here with an umbrella so you don't get cooked by the sun, I guess. I thought initially when I saw this curtain that somebody was living in there at some point, because it looks like a curtain from somebody's house. But I don't think that's the case, because when I looked inside, you can't see, but when I looked inside there's nothing that looks like somebody at any point was living in there. Now, I can't get into the garage, but I think initially, this was always a one-car garage, because I don't see how you could have fit 2 cars in that one door to fit into this garage. So I don't know why they put it that it's a 2-car garage. Now, over here, you have a storage area, artificial turf, and then you have a shower here to wash off the chlorine after you jump out of the pool here. So initially they had this house priced at $1 million in July, and it didn't sell. And then at the end, like mid-August, I think it was mid-August, they lowered the price down to $950, and then during the first week of October this month, they actually lowered it down to $929. So here's the thing. This property probably is worth whatever somebody will pay for it, right? But it's probably worth low 900s, high 900s. Low 900s, high 800s. But because they overpriced it in the beginning, they really put themselves in a position to make it more difficult to get the price that it should have probably sold for sooner, because when you overprice it, then you really limit your pool of buyers. So if they would have just priced it right from the beginning, this house would have probably already sold. It's been on the market for 80 days. So I just wanted to show you this property. So I guess what's the bottom line here? Whenever you're looking at a house, always look at the pictures online and then look at Google Maps, but also look at Google Earth, because obviously this one's very evident that it's right next to the 57 freeway, but like sometimes you'll notice that houses are like right next to a bus stop, which is not ideal for a lot of people, knowing that, there's people going to be congregating in front of your house at a bus stop to get on and off, the bus whenever it stops. And then not just that, the noise from the bus, but you'll see like that kind of stuff. And just, keep in mind, like the pictures, it's always going to look better online than it does in person.